Growing up in a close-knit family on ancestral farmland, Emily's connection with her grandfather held a special place in her heart. But when his grandfather passed away and left her only the small old barn, whereas her brothers inherited the family house and most of the lands, she could not help but to feel betrayed and undervalued. Little did she know that what she will find in the farm will change her entire life. Emily Thompson stood by the front window of her childhood home, gazing at the golden rays of the setting sun that painted the sky. She came from a close-knit family that had lived on their ancestral farmland for generations. The Thompsons were known for their hard work, strong values, and deep love for the land they called home. One of Emily's most cherished memories was spending time with her grandfather, Mr. Thompson. He was a wise and kind man, always ready to impart his knowledge and life lessons to his grandchildren. Emily had a special bond with him, spending countless afternoons sitting on the porch swing, listening to his stories and feeling his warmth and affection. He was an amazing grandfather, and she loved him very much. They began collecting things together, and Emily would often be excited to show him her latest find. When Mr. Thompson passed away, the entire family mourned his loss. The patriarch of the family had died, and he was the main thing holding them all together. Despite Emily growing up close with her family, once her grandfather passed, it caused a rift in the family. A few weeks after her grandfather's passing, the family gathered in the old family lawyer's office. Emily and her brothers awaited the reading of their grandfather's will. The somber atmosphere weighed heavily on everyone's hearts as they waited. As the lawyer began reading the will, Emily's heart pounded in her chest. She held her breath as her grandfather's wishes were revealed. The house and a significant portion of the land were left to her two older brothers, Mark and Thomas. Emily's eyes filled with tears, her disappointment evident as she realized that her grandfather had not left her an equal share. As the will reading continued, Emily's mood brightened slightly when the lawyer mentioned a separate bequest for her. Millions of things ran through her mind as to what it could be. They had shared such a special bond that maybe Mr. Thompson wanted to give her something even better than the land or house. Mr. Thompson had left her the old barn that stood on the far edge of the property. At first, Emily felt puzzled and uncertain about what to make of the inheritance. The barn had sentimental value, but it didn't compare to the family house and land. As days passed, Emily couldn't shake off the feeling of hurt and disappointment. She couldn't understand why her grandfather had chosen to leave her with the barn while her brothers inherited the family home. The weight of inequality bore down on her, and Emily couldn't help but feel as though her grandfather hadn't valued her as much as he did her brothers. Emily ran up to her bedroom and began to cry by herself in her bed. Why did Grandpa do this? Wasn't I just as important to him as Mark and Thomas? She thought to herself. As news spread of Emily inheriting the old barn, the Thompson family dynamic shifted. Emily's brothers, James and Andrew, couldn't resist making snide remarks about her prized inheritance. They teased her about living in a dusty old barn, mocking her for not receiving an equal share like they did. Their hurtful words pierced through Emily's heart, leaving her feeling isolated and misunderstood. At family gatherings, James and Andrew would make sly comments about Emily's new home, causing laughter among the relatives. Emily tried her best to brush off the mockery, but each barb stung a little more. She felt like an outsider in her own family, and the pain of their ridicule gnawed at her self-esteem. With her confidence shaken, Emily knew she needed to find a new place to live. The barn, despite its sentimental value, wasn't a practical living space. She decided to approach her brothers, hoping they would show some compassion and support during her difficult time. One evening after dinner, Emily gathered her courage and sat down with James and Andrew. She explained that she understood they had inherited the house and was genuinely happy for them. However, she needed some time to get back on her feet and asked if she could stay in the house for a little while until she figured things out. Emily's voice carried vulnerability as she hoped for understanding and support from her brothers. In response, James and Andrew exchanged glances that spoke volumes before erupting into laughter. They found her request ridiculous and made their contempt clear. Emily's heart sank, and their callous response hurt deeply. She had hoped they would empathize with her situation and offer a helping hand, but their laughter and scornful words only intensified her pain. The brothers suggested that Emily could stay in the barn, but she would have to pay rent, just like any other tenant. The offer felt like a cold dismissal, and Emily was hurt by their lack of compassion. She couldn't understand why her own brothers were treating her so harshly in a time of need. In response to their insensitivity, Emily questioned their behavior, reminding them that she was their sister and deserved their support and understanding. However, James and Andrew showed no remorse, insisting that their grandfather had given them the house and it was only fair for Emily to find her own place. Feeling rejected and hurt, Emily left the room, struggling to hold back tears. The encounter left a deep rift between her and her brothers, making her question the bonds of family and the support she had always assumed she could count on. Despite the pain, she knew she had to find a way to move forward and rebuild her life on her own terms. Without saying another word, Emily excused herself from the room, her heart heavy with loneliness and disappointment. As she retreated to the quiet sanctuary of her old bedroom, she couldn't help but wonder how things had gone so wrong. In the face of her brother's ridicule and rejection, Emily felt more determined than ever to prove her worth and uncover the true value of the barn, even if it meant doing it alone. Feeling dejected and hurt after her encounter with her brothers, Emily sought solace in the one place that held cherished memories of her grandfather, the old barn. With a heavy heart, she walked towards the withered structure that stood as a testament to the bond she had shared with him. As she stepped inside, the familiar scent of hay and aged wood enveloped her. Emily closed her eyes, allowing herself to be transported back to her childhood days, when she and her grandfather would spend countless hours in the barn. He had taught her about the importance of hard work, kindness, and believing in oneself. Running her fingers along the rough edges of a wooden beam, Emily felt a sense of comfort wash over her. The barn was more than just a dilapidated building. It was a treasure trove of memories and life lessons from her beloved grandfather. Lost in her thoughts, Emily decided to explore the barn further, hoping that being surrounded by her grandfather's legacy would bring her some much-needed clarity. As she moved deeper into the barn, her foot accidentally hit a loose floorboard, causing it to shift slightly. Curiosity piqued, Emily knelt down and carefully lifted the floorboard. To her astonishment, she discovered a hidden compartment underneath. Her heart raced as she reached inside and pulled out a bundle of old, faded letters tied together with a weathered ribbon. Trembling with excitement, Emily untied the ribbon and began reading the heartfelt letters. Each one was addressed to her, written by her grandfather during various stages of her life. Through tear-filled eyes, she read about his pride in her achievements, his unwavering belief in her potential, and his profound love for her. As she read the final letter, Emily discovered the reason her grandfather had left the barn to her. He explained that he knew she had a special connection with the old structure and hoped that it would serve as a reminder of the strength and resilience she possessed. With the letters clutched to her chest, Emily couldn't help but feel overwhelmed by her grandfather's love and wisdom. As she continued to explore the hidden compartment, she found something else tucked away amidst the letters, bundles of money neatly stacked together. Emily gasped in astonishment, realizing that her grandfather had left her more than just memories. He had entrusted her with a financial legacy as well. Through the tears that streamed down her cheeks, she discovered a heartfelt note written on the back of one of the old photographs. "My dearest Emily, I have always believed in your strength and determination. I hope that these letters and the money will serve as a reminder that you are capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. The barn holds more than just memories. It holds the promise of a bright future. Never forget how much I love you and always believe in yourself. I'm sure you're upset that I gave you the barn because it's a dilapidated old shack. Don't worry, I have reasoning for this. I put this money aside for a long time with a specific goal in mind. I want you to get the farm business going again. I think that it would be very prosperous. I believe in you, Emily. You're a bright girl. I love you so much, Grandpa." The weight of her grandfather's words filled Emily with a sense of purpose and renewed determination. In that moment, she knew that she was meant to uncover the true value of the barn and make her grandfather proud. As she carefully stashed away the letters and money, Emily felt a newfound sense of hope and optimism. Her grandfather's legacy was not only the barn, but also the belief he had in her abilities. Armed with his love and encouragement, she was ready to embark on a journey that would change her life and her family's forever. With determination and hard work, Emily was determined to uncover the hidden potential of the barn and turn it into a symbol of resilience, love, and cherished memories for generations to come. Emily held the letters and the money close to her heart as she walked back to the house. She knew exactly what she needed to do with the unexpected inheritance from her beloved grandfather. His words of encouragement echoed in her mind, urging her to embrace her true potential. With renewed determination, Emily decided to follow her grandfather's advice and use the money to revive his failed business on the farm. She knew it wouldn't be easy, but she was willing to put in the hard work and dedication required to make it a success. The barn, once a symbol of neglect, would now become the heart of her venture. Emily wasted no time in getting to work. With the help of a few trusted friends and the guidance of experienced farmers, she began to breathe life back into the neglected fields. Each day, she rose before the sun, her grandfather's letters serving as her motivation. The farm faced its fair share of challenges, from weather woes to equipment malfunctions, but Emily's unwavering determination and grit kept her going. She poured her heart and soul into the land, just as her grandfather had done in the past. Seasons passed, and Emily's hard work began to bear fruit. The once barren fields transformed into lush greenery, and the farm started yielding bountiful harvests. News of Emily's success spread throughout the community, attracting the attention of local buyers and distributors. As the first harvest season approached, Emily couldn't contain her excitement and nerves. She had invested everything she had, her time, money, and heart, into the farm, and now it was time to see the results of her labor. The day finally arrived, and trucks lined up at the farm to collect the freshly harvested produce. Emily watched with pride as the farm's fruits and vegetables were loaded onto the trucks, ready to be distributed to stores and markets. The harvest turned out to be a resounding success, surpassing even Emily's wildest expectations. The quality of her produce and the passion behind a farm's story resonated with buyers and consumers alike. The farm's reputation grew, and soon it became known as one of the finest in the region. As Emily's farm thrived, her brothers, James and Andrew, began to take notice. They couldn't ignore the transformation that had taken place and the prosperity that had come from what they had once deemed an insignificant inheritance. Regret gnawed at them as they realized the significance of their actions. They felt ashamed for mocking Emily and for not recognizing the value of the barn and their grandfather's legacy. They decided it was time to make amends. One day, as Emily was tending to the farm, she saw James and Andrew walking towards her. Their expressions were somber, and Emily prepared herself for a confrontation. However, to her surprise, they approached her with humility and sincerity. "I'm so sorry," Andrew had said. "I should never have said those things that I did." "Same here," James said. "I regret it now. You're our sister, and we should have treated you better, especially when Grandpa died." As Emily listened to their heartfelt apologies, she felt a weight lifted off her shoulders. She forgave her brothers, understanding that they had come to realize their mistakes. Tears brushed at her eyes, and she bit her lip to hold them back. With time, Emily's relationship with her brothers grew stronger. They became her allies in expanding the farm's success, working together as a family, just as their grandfather had wanted. In the end, Emily's determination, love for her grandfather, and the inspiration from his letters transformed the old barn into a thriving farm. With the money he had left for her, she not only revived his legacy but also created a bright future for herself and her family. The farm became a symbol of resilience and hope, a testament to the power of believing in oneself and cherishing the lessons passed down from previous generations. Emily's journey was a reminder that sometimes hidden treasures lay within the most unexpected places, waiting to be uncovered by those with a heart full of love and determination. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe, and this other story that may be appearing on the screen will most likely move you as well. Have a nice day, and see you in the next video.